your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing Aether Gazer on PC. The long-awaited PC client for Aether Gazer is finally here. Came out on global in Japan on October 15th, 2024. CN has already have it. I don't know how long they've had it. I want to say probably for like a few months now. Anyways, if you want to play Aether Gazer, I do think now would be the best time since we now finally have an official PC client. So if you've been waiting for the Aether Gazer PC client, now's your chance to finally play Aether Gazer. There's also a ton of story content to do in order to get some currency to pull for some characters. As of right now, in Aether Gazer October 2024, there is a Cunny banner going on right now. I don't know if she's really good or not. You have at least 2 weeks to obtain the new Cunny character, and I think there's also a rerun of a old busty booba lady as well. Now let's talk about the PC client itself. The PC client is running pretty smoothly so far. I haven't really had too many issues with it. When you first boot up the PC client, it's not going to be full screen mode immediately. You do enable it once you log into the game and you go to your settings. You basically, click on full screen. You can adjust the resolution of the screen. You can adjust many different things. You can play the game in more than 60 frames per second. You can also change the layout of the controls as well. Now, the only complaint I really have with the PC client is, well, for one, the camera controls are kind of a little awkward. You initially hit Q and E on your keyboard in order to move the camera around, but the most effective way of moving the camera around in the Aether Gazer PC client is to hold down left click and then you move the mouse around to move the camera. Any other gacha PC, you typically just move the mouse in order to move the camera, but for Aether Gazer you have to hold left click in order to move the mouse in order to move the camera. Other gachas with PC client also have the left click as like your attack button, but for Aether Gazer, for whatever reason, you can only set the right click for an attack or for a basic attack button. So if you are used to using the left click on your mouse to attack, it might be a little wonky for you. Another complaint that I have is when I plug in the controller, my controller will stop working eventually. It's not my controller itself, because when I use my controller for other games, it works just fine. But for Aether Gazer's case, my controller will just stop working after like 2 minutes. Maybe it is something on my end. Maybe there's something that I have to change, but I have no idea why my controller will just stop working. It doesn't really matter that much to me anymore since I'm already getting used to the PC controls anyway. If anybody's playing this on a controller, let me know what your experience was with the controller, because with me the experience wasn't really that good. The only real complaints for me is that I wish the mouse can allow us to move the camera instead of just holding left click and the mouse just to move the camera, and also maybe just let us attack with the left click. Other than that, the PC client is pretty great. Now, I haven't logged into the game for a long ass time, mostly because I've just been waiting for the PC client. I'm very glad that this game has finally gotten a PC client, not just for my convenience, but it really tells me that Yostar is moving up in the world. I know they do have Azur Lane in the works, and I am excited for that project as well. I've been a pretty big follower of Yostar ever since day one of Azur Lane. I still play Azur Lane even to this day. Now, if I could give a brief summary of Aether Gazer, I would probably say it's a pretty fan servicey action RPG game. The game does have male characters, but I don't think they've released any new males for quite a long time now. I think it's mostly just waifus that come out. Also, every new waifu also gets a new skin as well. So, this game does have a lot of skins. I think later down the line in the future, I think there's also interactive skins as well. Basically, if you're looking for an action role-playing game with a little bit of fan service mixed in, I do think Aether Gazer is a pretty solid choice. Honkai Impact 3rd used to be kind of fan servicey, but I think they kind of toned it down a bit. ZZZ, on the other hand, might actually be Hoyoverse's lewdest game. It definitely drives out a lot of tourists. I would say that ZZZ is second, while Aether Gazer is first when it comes to fan servicey action role-playing games. in the mobile market. You don't really see the Twitter mob getting angry at Aether Gazer because the game is under a lot of people's radar. Not many people really know about Aether Gazer, and I think that's a good thing because I think if something gets mainstream, I do typically think it gets worse over time. Anyways, the game itself does have a lot of content. You have at least 18 story chapters to go through. Endgame has at least 6 different endgame modes. 2 of them are permanent. 4 of them reset on a weekly basis. Aether Gazer is definitely one of the more casual action RPGs along with ZZZ. I think PGR and Honkai Impact 3rd are a little bit more try-hardy since those games do have leaderboards and you also get like more rewards depending on how well you do in certain game modes. Anyways, I do think the game is worth playing, especially if you are into the cultured. I can't promise I will make more content on this game. I might. I mean, the game is pretty fun. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later.
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.